Hey everybody, welcome back to another video with me. I'm Nikki. If you are just joining me, I hope you make things for your friends and family. For those of you returning, I am glad you're here because I have another fun tutorial for you, and of course it has a backstory. All right. A few weeks ago, I was at my vending booth and some customers came into the booth. It led into a conversation which led into this video. Funny video, by the way. No, not funny video. A funny item. I'll tell you why. If you have seen my video about the one sewing an apron, I tell you in the video that I am the worst with keeping my shirts clean. That's not a joke. It's true. And so I wanted to do another video with you guys because every day at dinner, I wanted to do a different tutorial with you, similar to an apron about keeping your clothes clean, because I am notorious for making a huge mess on my shirts. So today's tutorial, we are going to make an adult bib. Yes, we are. So I thought it would be fun, and it's simple, you know. And the idea that I was asked by customers why I don't do them, it puzzled me, and so I was like, okay, we'll do that. So I guess the thing to get started with is to tell you I don't have a pattern for it, but I will show you how I made it. Okay, let's get started. Okay, wait, can you pass me? I want to show you how I did this. Again, I'm not using a pattern. It's just something that I kind of freehand. So I'm going to show you how I did this. Okay, a yard of fabric. I'm going to scoot all this over to the side for a moment and open this up just to show you. All right, so here is that yard of fabric, right? And all I did, I would definitely suggest doing this on the fold, okay? So here's the fold right here, okay? Now, I want to show you, let me lay this out for a moment to show you how easy it is to create some things without a pattern. And you probably think you can't do it. You can. Obviously, I would move this up to use the least amount of fabric as possible. Okay, but just for the purpose of the video, I'm going to put it in the middle. Okay, this is obviously the right side of the fabric. Here is the right side of fabric there. Notice this here, this portion is just the neck area, okay? Obviously this is flipped because I had it down at this side, but all you would need to do, okay? Hold on one second. I'm going to show you how I did this using 1 yard of fabric. It's going to take a little bit of ingenuity on your part. Nothing that I'm sure you can't handle. Okay, here is 1 yard of fabric. Okay, and the reason that I'm telling you about 1 yard is because of just the length of it. This is the final product that I made. What I did was I placed fabric on a fold. So here was the fold. I'm going to scoot this over so you can see it. All right. What I originally did, this drawing right here, as you can see, I freehanded. My curves are not great, but the idea was on the bib to just create a rectangle on the bottom to create a bib. So I started off with just doing a rectangle. I curved the ends. I came up to this point here. And if you want to know how many inches that is, let's see. This is 14 inches of a regular rectangle here, if we're looking at that. Okay. Then what I did was I drew a circle, okay, allowing for seam allowance. So if this is the actual size, obviously if some of you have been sewing already, then you know what a seam allowance is. But if I'm looking here, okay, and I can see that this is the size of the bib, the final size of the bib. Well, this here is my seam allowance, okay? So that's what this space is in between here, okay? I would tell you the other easy way to do this is if you went to the Dollar Tree and got a bib, you can actually lay it out and use it as a pattern. But all I did also, I left a little bit of extra space, okay? So that's about 1/2 inch. And I just created a curved line. That's all. Curved around, right around the curved edge. So this body part here is 14 inches. But when you take a look and see from the outer part of your rectangle, all I did was curve up. Okay, and this is the round neck portion. Let me see how wide this, okay, so 6 inches. Okay, so 6 inches out, started here, and then obviously went around. Okay, we can do radius, circumference, but you don't need to do all of that. Okay, yeah. And so what I'll do is I'll add this if you want to. I will scan it. I'll make a copy and put it onto my blog if you want it, and you can try to use it that way. Otherwise, you can try to get a free pattern online. I just wanted to show you a quick way to make a bib. Okay. Again, I'm not a professional, so I freehand it. That's what it's going to look like for the neck portion. And this is where you would add on the 14 inches from this point. Just add on 14 inches of fabric. That's all. All right, with that being said, this is what we're going to do at this point. I'm gonna put this to the side and I'm going to show you. Now, your bib can be fully cotton, okay? This one that I made here is fully cotton, okay? 100% cotton on the front and the back. You can make your you can make your bib using terry cloth on the back or on the front. You can put PUL, which is food safe material, and it's wipeable. Use anything you want. The point is that this is washable, it's reusable, and it's going to protect your shirt. What I will say, okay, is that if you want to give it a little bit of body, which is what I'm going to do, a little bit of structure to it, I'm going to add on this apparel interface. Apparel interface is really, really thin, okay? And it's pretty much what's in some shirt collars, or when you're doing dresses. If you've started sewing clothing, then you know that, okay? All I'm going to do, I'll turn it this way, because it doesn't fit on the mat. I'm going to apply this apparel fabric. I have it the wrong way, and I know I have it the wrong way because I can't feel that bumpiness. Going to place it with the bumpy side face up. And this works the same way that regular interfacing does. It's just that it's super thin. This interface can also go in things like tablecloths and table runners, things like that. It gives it just a little bit more thickness, a little bit more body. Okay. I'm going to apply the interface, starting off in the middle. Yeah, I spill things on myself like crazy. Like, not even kidding. It's a big joke in my house. I'm gonna just spurt some, get some steam on here. And if you find that that you want to do this, definitely keep a template. I have to cut this because it's a little large. It's a little bit wider, of course. Keep a template. I keep a template for everything that I do. Because sometimes I make things in bulk. Or I make, you know, 10 of something. Oh, let me do the top. I was going to cut it right now, but when I cut the neck portion, all I did was cut it right down the middle. Cut it right down the middle of the neck. All right, here we go. I am going to cut off this extra interface right here. Not that it's major right now, because it's going to be in the lining, in the seam, but I just don't want it sticking to the iron. Okay. I need to adhere that a little bit better. Okay. I'm now going to cut this. All right. So you need your outer and you need your inner of whatever it is that you're going to use. This is not important, but it would just drive me insane. Okay. Go ahead and put this face down together. Pretty side to pretty side. So I'm using black lining, of course, solid lining. I'm seeing which is my, that's my wrong side. This is my right side. I know I have a thing with solid linings. I'm gonna pin this. If you know somebody else that just ruins tons of shirts, or somebody that may need a medical grade bib, this is great. Pinning it in several areas. The trickiest part about when you're sewing this is the neck part. And I say that because it's a curve. When you go around curves, you want to do two things. One, take your time, and two, shorten your stitch length. Okay, because when you have a shorter stitch length, it helps you get around the curve a little bit better, and it's a little neater. Okay, already I can feel the difference in the fabric, you know, adding the interface onto the back of it. So definitely it feels a little bit stiffer. It's not stiff, it's just stiffer. All right, here we go. I'm going to just start up at the top and work my way all the way around the bib. Until I get to the neck portion, I'm going to use 3.0 and go all the way around. When we're going around, you want to leave a space so you can turn it right side out. I'm going to leave a portion at the bottom so I can flip this right side out, okay? So about 4 fingers is good. I should have said it's an adult bib, but I'm pretty sure you guys got that by now. forgot to leave my portion open on the bottom. That's fine. It's all fine. I will leave my portion right there. So I'm at that point where I'm about to go around the neck. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten my stitch length to 2.5. When you turn it right side out, it helps your stitches. I'll show you when I flip it. It just helps the material lay flat. Okay, removing these stitches, and of course, because I forgot to leave my opening on the bottom, I just got into the groove of sewing. I left my hole on the side, so not a big deal. You can leave your hole to flip it right side out wherever you want to. What we're going to do before we flip this, around the neck area, we want to give a few snips in the curved areas. It's going to help your material lie a little bit more flat, where it just helps create a nice curve. Okay. This is the same like if you're doing rounded pockets. Anything round that you're working on, trust me, it's a good thing to do. Try not doing it and see what happens. I'm going to snip the bottom curves down here. I'm being careful not to snip past my stitch line. Okay, and that's good. Flip this right side out, and we want to get ready. Oh, I just pulled off my, that's okay. When I iron it back down, it will stick. We want to get ready to iron this. This is really a pretty cool, quick project. You know what? I'm going to cut this to reduce some bulk here at the top, on the top of where the tabs will go. Okay. I love blowing fabric on you. All right. Finding that, where is it? There it is. There we go. We get lost in there. The neck piece. All right. grab a chopstick. You might need a chopstick for this, either a chopstick or grab a pencil with, you know, with an eraser. What you want to do is go inside and poke out those corners. Get them flat. Okay. Your item will look a whole lot better if you do. Going into the other one. I'm a huge fan of chopsticks. Poking out my corners. All right. Poking that one out. You see that? If you don't poke it out, if you go to close up your hole without poking it, look how much of that material was in there. I'm also going to use my chopstick and I'm going to run it inside of the seam of the bib, because now where did that straggly come from? Look what happens if we don't. And I don't want to spend the time having to roll it with my fingers while I'm sewing. So all I'm doing is using the chopstick and I'm just going right inside of the seams to force them to lay flatter. Look how nice the curve looks when you clip the edging around the curves. You see? That's how nice it looks. But oh, look, let me poke that out. You see? All right. All right, I'm going all the way around the bottom. I don't want to have to fight as it's underneath the foot, because once it goes under my presser foot, I want it to be ready for me just to keep on sewing. Okay, you see, I don't want to fight with this, which is why I use the chopstick. All right. Grab your iron. We're going to flatten it. Now, this is purely optional, but I'm telling you, if you iron it before you do your top stitching, it'll be a whole lot easier. And then you'll have almost like your finished product. Look how nice when you cut your corners. They look seamless. Okay. Look at the neck portion. Look how clean this looks. And that's a trick when you start sewing shirts as well, if you're not scared to sew clothing. Okay. Flattening that out. I'm going to tuck under my, let me cut this real quick. I'm going to clip that, tuck in my open seamed area. Okay. Again, obviously you can leave your opening wherever you want to. A straight edge is way easier than on a curve. And I realized when I was sewing, I was like, oh, I didn't leave my opening at the bottom. So, all right, here we go. And again, I'm going to start sewing at the top just because I don't like to see the back stitching portion in the middle of my project. Okay, I'm going all the way around the perimeter of the outer edges, all the way around, coming down, all the way around the neck as well, until we get back up to the top there. All right. Okay. And I'm sewing, I'll show you in a second. I am sewing 1/8 of an inch from the edge. You see that? 1/8 of an inch from the edge. You can talk. I'm going to hyperlapse this because it seems like it takes forever because it's a big.
Yeah.
Because it's a big project. I'm gonna make some of these for my booth because they really are easy. You're not talking.
What am I gonna say? I'm focusing too hard. Camera just flew.
What do you mean?
Like I went to refocus it, but like I hit the middle, but it hit the bottom left corner and also the bottom, it hit the bottom left corner, but also the top right. And in the top right, it's the flip camera, so it flipped. That doesn't make no sense. Why does he hate me? Also, Dad's calling.
Because he's looking at trees. I just came up with an idea for what I'm gonna do for the booth.
You're not gonna see what it is.
I want to start like putting things in packages. And so I think it will help avoid them flying away or having to hang certain things, you know, that sort of thing. But besides putting the name of the product on the top, I think what I'll do is put a picture of it on the paper as well, or like inside of the packet so they can see through it, you know. Okay, here we go. All right. Look at that. Teeny tiny straggling. And now we are on to just the finishing touches. Okay. I have some hook and loop here. It's about 2 inches long. Depending on how wide you have done your seams, you might want to adjust the size that you're using. I'm going to place one portion of the hook and loop there. If you need to, just to keep it in place while you sew, if you have some double-sided tape, go ahead and put some double-sided tape on the back of it, right? I don't suggest using, for this particular project, the stick-on, because this is one item that will get a lot of use, and the constant opening, closing will actually force the Velcro, the hook and loop, to come off. You know, the glue will wear out over time, okay? So I do recommend, I'm going to sew this. I'm just putting this on here to baste it temporarily. What I like to do when I'm putting on Velcro, also the hook and loop, all I'm doing is I'm putting that right on top because I don't want to have to guess where my other piece of hook and loop should go. And I'm just going to go like that, so I know, okay, that's where I want my other portion to go. Just move this over a tad bit. Okay, and what we're going to do now is sew it on. You might want to make sure that you use coordinating thread here. And so the bottom of my fabric is black. I'm going to put black in my bobbin area, and then on the top, in my top spool, I'm going to put white because I don't want to see the white on the back side. You can if you want to, you know, but I also don't want to see the black on the top with the white. So I'm gonna switch that over, and I'm going to sew right in this. You'll definitely see it when you're looking close at the hook and loop, the Velcro. I'm gonna sew right along the edges of the scratchy part. Okay, not outside of it, but on it. Okay, all around. I'm sewing with my stitch length on 2.5 because to me 2.5 is a great number for when I want to keep stitches in. They're tighter. And this will get a lot of wear and tear. It will get a lot of pulling. Okay. So, and of course I back stitched a few times. You want to definitely, you know, give that hook and loop or Velcro, whatever you call it. You want to give it a little extra love. Okay, I'm getting the other side. So as you can see, I used black in my bobbin and then the white on the top. Okay. Same thing, going around the edges. The other thing with sticky Velcro is that sometimes it will gum up your needle. And I just don't want it to gum up my needle. If I'm using a dough needle, or, well, first of all, you shouldn't be using a dough needle. That's the wrong word. If you're using a needle that you've used for many projects, and if you don't care about it, that's a different story. If you're about to change it. I remember reading someplace when I first started, they said you should change your needle after every project. Like, what? Who are they kidding? I mean, like, what? Who made that rule? Because there are times that I sew with the same needle for a few months. So, and it goes through the fabric sharp with no problem, looking beautiful. Okay. And there you have it, folks. A wonderful bib for the messy person. That's it. That's about all. Again, you can make this longer if you want it longer. I mean, when you sit down, let's see something. If you sit down, I mean, how long does a person need a bib? Right? I mean, you don't need it much longer, but but if you want it to, you can add on a little pocket on the bottom, you know, to catch food. Mine is mainly just because, you know, you lean close to the table and it's like, okay, I'm leaning close, but, you know, tell me how you guys do with spaghetti and olive oil. Okay, if you guys have questions, you know what to do. All right, I will see you back here for another video, and that's it. Get to sewing. Bye, guys.